Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. It's Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving. I've been gone the past couple of days up in Seattle, my niece's wedding. I'm happy to be back behind the microphone. I missed all of you. What's the markets doing today? Well, while I was gone, we've had this little bit of a pullback, and we got a little bit more of a pullback this morning. Already starting to bounce. We're oversold short term. Short term, we're looking for a bounce here. Okay, so what did I do today? I've been gone for a few of the trading days. I missed last Friday, and I missed Monday, and I missed Tuesday, but I'm back now. Now, what am I doing? While I was gone, guess what happened? Gold and silver just got crushed. They got beaten down. I think they got manipulated. I think they got down. So what did I do today? I opened a position in the SLV. Silver, I opened a position in the GLD. Now, I already had on the miners, but I added to them because they pulled back in. Now, why do I like this position so much? Why? Well, I like it because they reappointed Fed Chairman Powell. Fed Chairman Powell's going to keep printing money. That's the only thing he knows how to do. Now, it's funny to me that he got reappointed, right? I actually had a hunch maybe they would go with someone else. After all, he got caught red-handed, not day trading. Well, maybe he was day trading. I don't know, but he was front-running his trades. He was doing insider trading. What do you do with a person like that? Well, you reward them. You give them a second term. You let them continue to do what they're doing, continue to make him and his friends very, very wealthy. They get more wealthy and, well, we get more poor. Now, why do we get more poor? Because they're going to continue to print money. Now, what they're doing is just downright cruel, in my opinion. It's cruel. Look, money is losing about 1% a month, okay? Like if you have, let's just say, $100,000 in the bank, you're losing $1,000 of that every month. They just take it away. They take it away in the form of inflation. Okay, inflation is really a tax on everything. It's a tax on your spending. When you spend it, prices are higher. It's a tax. It's a tax on your savings. You got that money in the bank, it loses its purchasing power. It's a tax on your income. When you make money, it buys less. Your incomes are not keeping up with the cost of this inflation. So yes, I put on the gold trade. I put on the silver trade. Now, I'm a trader. I jump in and out of the GLD, the SLV. That's for me. That's what I'm doing. Now, a lot of people disagree with this trade. Mike, gold is dead. Gold is really dead. And you're sounding just like a broken record, Mike. You keep talking about protecting yourself with gold, protecting yourself with silver. Look, I'm in Bitcoin, Mike. It's making me all kinds of money. And that's great. I'm happy for you. I love Bitcoin. Love to trade it in and out of it. I'm not a holder. But what I do to protect myself is to buy the gold and silver. And when they crash it down, when they manipulate it lower, that's when I jump into those trades. That's when I love those trades. Look, the government does not want you to know that the dollar is in trouble. They don't want you to know that the dollar's going away. They don't want you to know that their fiat system's failing. They don't want you to know that. Of course they're going to manipulate gold and silver lower. Look, we're in inflationary times. We have negative interest rates. Now, negative interest rates, the rates are going up a little bit. The 10-year is up about 1.68, 1.7, let's call it. And it was at 150 up to 1.7. The rates are starting to go up. But the real interest rates are staying negative. Look, real interest rates, they admit to 6% inflation. They're giving you 1.6. That's a negative real interest rates. 6% minus 1.6 is about a 4.4% negative real interest rate. But it's much worse than that, No one can convince me that inflation is only running at 6%. It's running closer to 14, 15%. I was just up in Seattle this weekend. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that things are more expensive there than in the Bay Area. Now, gasoline up there is a little bit cheaper. They were about $1 lower than us. We're about $5. They're about $4. Okay, and Houses up there, houses are, well, about 1/3 the cost of where I live. Let's call it 1/3. But what was more expensive was food. Going to the grocery store. Oh my goodness. We bought, some tomatoes. We got little cups of soup and a few vegetables and a couple of donuts, actually. 2 donuts. Anyways, the bill came to $49.50. I looked at the cashier like she was crazy. She looked at me and goes, "Oh, the tomatoes were expensive." Well, the tomatoes were expensive. But you know what? This is in a grocery store. The donuts were $4 each. The little soups, they were running about $8. Prices up there were just, it was pretty wild. But inflation is here, and it's not going away, and it is running about 15%. So when you take 15% inflation and you subtract that, let's call it even 2% that they're paying you on bonds, you got a negative 13% inflation rate. Now this, for gold should just be skyrocketing, but why is it not? It's being manipulated lower. They're dumping the paper gold. They're dumping the silver, the paper silver. That's not real. You go to a coin shop and try to find these things. If you can find silver, if you can find gold, it is not cheap. It is still holding high premiums. Premiums on a silver eagle right now are about 30%. 30% premium on a silver eagle. The physical silver is not dropping. Yes, the spot price of silver is dropping because they're dumping this paper silver. Look at for the SLV, which I'm putting a trade on. This would not be something you want to hold. This is something you get in and out of. I don't know if they have silver or not. My guess is they do not. But for every ounce of paper silver, like it takes 600 ounces of paper silver for every 1 ounce of physical silver. Gold, it's about 200 ounces of paper gold for every 1 ounce of real gold. It's like musical chairs. When the music stops, they're going to be trying to get that physical gold and physical silver. Now, Mike, if you say physical, why do you trade this GLD and this SLV? Why do you even bother with it? Because it will move with the price of silver. And I can make money as a trader. It's what I do. I'm a gambler in the stock market. Yes, it's manipulated. Yes, they're going to beat it down. But every time they beat it down, that's where I jump in. I put on the GLD trade. I put on the SLV trade. Now, this is just what I'm doing. Do your own research. If you want to stay in the dollar and lose that 1% every month. Lose that inflation. That inflation is taxing you, and it's taxing you at a very high rate right now, about 15% a year, over 1% a month, I believe. So if you want to stay in the dollar, stay in the dollar. I want to protect myself, and I protect myself with the gold. I protect myself with the silver. Now, some people go, cryptos. Cryptos are great. They're great trading vehicles. I love cryptos, but that's not what I want to be holding. No, it's not. Look at what was Bitcoin before I went on vacation. I think it was like 67,000. Now it's 56,000. That can lose like that. That's it is volatile. It is volatile, but you can make a lot of money. Yeah, I think Bitcoin's probably going to bounce from here, right? Maybe it comes down a little farther, but down here at 56,000 with just 67,000. Might be time to buy a little bit of Bitcoin here. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I was gone and I took a few days off from trading. Sometimes you just take a few days off and sit back and watch what happens. And what happened was that the market started to come in. The market started to come in. I expected the market to come in because the HYG, which is, it's the junk bond index. That is just free falling, which means the interest rates on these junk bonds are starting to go straight up. Interest rates on junk bonds are exploding higher. It's going to be hard for these zombie companies to get the financing they need to stay in business. And we have a lot of zombie companies out there. We need to flush them out. We need to charge them higher interest rates. We got to stop the Federal Reserve from just giving them free money at 0%. Now, I know I sound like a broken record, but this is just what I believe. It's what you got to do. Look, there is no price discovery. We don't know what things are supposed to cost. We don't know what the real price of gold is. We don't know what the real price of silver is. We don't know what the real price price of a house is right now. Now, I don't think a house should cost $2 million for a 1,200 square foot tract home, but that's what they sell for in my area because there's no price discovery because the government keeps pumping the money out. And they're going to continue to pump the money out. But one time when this all comes crashing down, we're going to find out what the real cost is, what they should really be selling for. Should a gallon of gas be $5-6 a gallon? I don't know. Maybe it should. Maybe it should be more. But there is no price discovery because the Federal Reserve is going to be in there pumping the money in, printing the money. And they've got to keep the stuff propped up because if it starts going down, it's all going to come down. I mean, there are so many bubbles out there. There's the bond bubble, the real estate bubble, the stock market bubble, the crypto bubble. People get real upset when you say there's a bubble in crypto, but there's a derivative bubble. Derivatives are in a huge bubble, hundreds of trillions of dollars in derivatives, and that is probably the largest bubble. And when this comes crashing down, it's going to hurt a lot of people. And I feel sorry for people because their pensions are going to go away. I feel sorry for people because this inflation is crushing them, the poor, the middle class. Look they can't afford to pay to buy the turkey for Thanksgiving. And we got Thanksgiving tomorrow. It's very exciting. This is actually going to be one of the better Thanksgivings because you can still find a turkey to buy. Look there's supply chain disruptions everywhere. We got hundreds and hundreds of boats sitting out in the ocean down here trying to get into the port. I mean, it's just crowded. They can't get the goods and services. The supply chains are broken. This is not going to end well. I know I sound like a broken record, and I don't want to depress anybody right before Thanksgiving. So get out there and have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. If you like this stuff, give me a thumbs up. Punch that subscribe button. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.